The sun was barely up when I held the envelope in my hands. My scholarship check. My way out. Mom? I called from the kitchen table. It came, I told you it would. She rushed over, wiping her hands on a towel. Ethan? Oh, thank God, you really did it. Her eyes shone, but the sound of heavy footsteps cut through her joy. Dad walked in, his hair messy, eyes already dull from a long night. He noticed the envelope and smirked. What's that? I pulled it closer. My scholarship. For school? He extended his hand casually. Let me see it. Something in my gut twisted. Why? He chuckled, low and bitter. Because I'm your father. Now hand it over. Mom stepped forward. David, please. Don't start, but Dad's voice sharpened. I said give it to me. I shook my head. This is mine. I earned it. His smile disappeared. Everything you earn in this house belongs to me. You think you got here alone? You slept under my roof, ate my food. That money is mine. My chest burned. No, this is for college, my future. You can't take it. He snatched the envelope from my hand before I could react. Dad! I lunged, but he shoved me back against the chair. Give it back. David! Mom cried, grabbing his arm. Don't do this! He tore open the envelope, pulling the check halfway out. His grin widened. Just what I needed. Finally, some luck. Some luck? My voice cracked. That's not luck, it's my life. Emily appeared at the doorway, clutching her school bag. What's happening? I turned toward her, desperate. He's taking my scholarship. Her small voice trembled. Dad, you can't. Ethan worked so hard. Please don't. But Dad didn't even look at her. You'll understand when you're older. Family sacrifices for family. I slammed my fist on the table. This isn't sacrifice, it's theft. His eyes narrowed and his voice dropped to a growl. Watch how you talk to me, boy. I've had enough of your disrespect. Mom stepped between us. David, don't ruin him. You can't gamble this away. The words slipped out like poison. Gamble? Emily whispered. I froze, my heart racing. So that's it. You're not even hiding it anymore. You're going to throw my future on a poker table. Dad's hand tightened on the check. Don't talk about things you don't understand. I'm fixing our problems. Fixing? I laughed bitterly. You're drowning us. You lost jobs, you lost friends, and now you want to lose me too? Mom's tears slipped down her cheeks. Ethan, stop. Please, no, Mom. My voice shook. I won't stop. He's destroyed everything. And now he wants to destroy me. Emily's eyes filled with tears. Daddy, please don't do this. I need Ethan to stay in school. He promised me we'd both make it. Dad finally looked at her. For a second, his face softened. Then he looked back at me, jaw hard. You're dramatic. You'll live. School isn't everything. My throat tightened. School is all I have. The room fell silent except for the sound of my breathing. Then Dad pocketed the check. End of discussion. I stared at him, every bone in me trembling. You'll regret this. He leaned close, his breath heavy with alcohol. No, son. You'll regret ever thinking you were better than me. I shoved past him and grabbed my bag, storming toward the door. Ethan! Mom called after me, but I couldn't stop. My vision blurred. I stepped into the street, fists clenched, heart racing. Behind me, I heard Emily's muffled sobs. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear the check back, to fight him until he gave it up. But I couldn't. He was my father. And that single fact crushed me harder than his shove. I whispered to myself, how could he do this to me? The question echoed with no answer. Back inside, I heard Mom's pleading voice, Emily's cries, and Dad's cold laugh, and I knew, in that moment, my life had changed forever. Give it back, I shouted, voice breaking as I grabbed for Dad's pocket. He shoved me away. I told you, boy. It's mine now. Don't test me. Mom stepped between us, hands trembling. David, stop this. He's your son. I'm teaching him a lesson, Dad snapped. Life doesn't hand you gifts. He needs to toughen up. My throat tightened. That money wasn't a gift. I worked for it. I studied while you were out drinking and gambling. I earned it, he sneered. Books don't put food on the table. Neither does your gambling. I shot back, Mom's eyes filled with tears. Both of you, please. You'll tear this family apart. I turned to her, desperate. Mom, you know what this means. Without that money, I can't go back to school. She shook her head slowly. I know, Ethan. But what can I do? He won't listen to me. I faced Dad again, chest heaving. Why? Why ruin me just because you're miserable? You already lost your job, your friends, your pride. Now you want to take my future too? His jaw tightened. Don't act like you're better than me. I am better than you. The words ripped out before I could stop them. Because I fight for something real. Because I don't waste everything I touch. He slapped the table hard enough to rattle the cups. Watch your mouth! Emily suddenly rushed forward, wrapping her arms around me. Her small voice trembled. Ethan, stop! Please. I looked down at her, my anger cracking into something softer. She clung to me like I was the last thing holding her steady. Emily, I whispered, my hand on her shoulder. She buried her face against me. I believe in you. You'll still make it, even if he doesn't. Her words pierced through the storm in my chest. Dad scoffed. Belief doesn't pay bills. I glared at him. You wouldn't understand. You never believed in anyone but yourself. He pointed at me, face twisted. One day you'll thank me for this. Life doesn't care about dreams. Then I'll prove you wrong, I said coldly. Even if I have to crawl through broken glass, I'll prove you wrong. For the first time, his eyes flickered with something uncertain. But he turned away, muttering, You'll see. Mom reached for me, her voice breaking. Ethan, please don't fight anymore tonight. I can't bear it. I pulled Emily closer and shook my head. There's nothing left to fight for. He already made his choice. I left the kitchen, my sister's hand clutching mine until she had to let go. Upstairs, I shut my door and leaned against it, chest heaving like I'd run a marathon. The room was dark, only the faint glow of the desk lamp spilling across my books. They sat open, pages filled with notes I'd written over countless late nights. For years, they were my armor, my weapon, my escape. Now they looked like ashes. I sank into my chair, staring at the words until they blurred. My hands shook as I touched the cover of one notebook, the paper edges worn from use. Is this it? I whispered into the silence. I imagined the campus I'd dreamed of, the classrooms, the chance to build something better, all of it slipping away because of him. The rage still burned, but beneath it was a deeper ache, heavy and suffocating. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear the walls down. But instead, I pressed my forehead against the desk. Emily's voice echoed in my ears. I believe in you. I clenched my fists. I had to believe too. Because if I didn't, I had nothing. But as the night stretched on, and the sound of my father's laughter downstairs crawled into my room, despair wrapped around me tighter than any hope. For the first time in years, I doubted if I'd ever make it back. I stood in the garage staring at my bike. The red frame was chipped, the tires worn, but to me it was freedom. Every ride had felt like escape. Now it was all I had left to trade. Mom stepped in quietly. Ethan, are you sure? I swallowed hard. Do I have a choice? Tuition's due tomorrow, she bit her lip. It was a gift from your grandfather. You loved that thing. I still do, I said. My voice cracked. But I can't ride a bike into college. Emily peeked from behind her, eyes wide. You can't sell it. You always said one day you'd take me riding downtown. Her words cut deep. I crouched to meet her eyes. I know, I wanted that too. But right now, this is the only way I can stay in school. She hugged me fiercely. I hate him for making you do this. I hugged her back. Don't hate. Just remember why I'm doing it. For us. At the pawn shop, the air smelled of rust and dust. The man behind the counter, a thick-set guy with gray stubble, eyed the bike as I wheeled it in. What do you want for it? He asked flatly. I tried to sound firm. $300. It's in good condition, he barked a laugh. Good condition? Kid, this thing's 10 years old. I'll give you $150. My chest tightened. $150? Come on. The tires are fine, the gears still work. It's worth at least $250, he smirked. Then ride it back home. Otherwise, $150, I clenched my fists. This isn't junk. This bike's carried me everywhere. It means nothing to me, he cut in. Business is business. I felt heat crawl up my neck. $200. Final offer, he leaned back, arms crossed. $175. Take it or leave it. I stared at the handlebars, memories flashing, wind in my face, Emily's laughter when she balanced on the back, the only moments I felt free from Dad's shadow. My throat burned. I forced the words out. Fine, $175. He scribbled on a slip, shoved the cash toward me, and pulled the bike away without another glance. The clink of the register closing felt like the sound of a door slamming shut. Outside, I counted the bills in my hand. Not enough for books, but enough to keep my seat in class. That was all that mattered. Liam spotted me on the street. Hey, where's your bike? I shoved the money in my pocket. Gone. His eyes widened. You sold it? Ethan, that was your pride. I didn't have a choice. He frowned. How much did you get? $175, he whistled. They robbed you. I know. My voice was sharp, but it broke at the edges. But it's done. He studied me quietly. And your dad? I laughed bitterly. Probably betting with my scholarship right now. Liam shook his head. Man, you deserve so much better than this mess. I looked down the street feeling hollow. Maybe, but this is the hand I got. And I'm not folding, he grinned faintly. That's the Ethan I know. Stubborn as hell. Call it survival, I muttered. Back home, Mom waited at the door. Did you... I held out the crumpled bills. $175, her shoulders sagged. That's barely anything. It's enough for tuition. I'll figure out the rest. Emily hovered behind her. Do you feel okay? I forced a smile. No, but I'll live. She looked at the money, then at me. I'll draw you a picture of your bike so you don't forget it. I pulled her close, swallowing hard. Thanks, Em. That means more than the bike ever could. Later that night, I spread the money across my desk. My book sat open beside it, heavy with notes. I whispered to myself, You gave up freedom for a chance. Don't waste it. The word sounded like a vow, binding me tighter than any lock or chain. For the first time since Dad stole my scholarship, I felt a flicker of power, not from what I had, but from what I refused to lose. I had sacrificed my bike, but I still had my fight. Walking through the school gates without my bike felt like walking in barefoot. Heads turned. I heard the whispers before I even reached the steps. Isn't that Ethan? Didn't his dad blow his scholarship? Yeah, I heard he sold his bike just to pay tuition. Each word stung, but I kept my head high. Ryan's voice sliced through the air. Look who decided to walk like the rest of the peasants. I tightened my grip on my bag. Morning, Ryan, he smirked. Morning? Don't you mean mourning? Poor boy's grieving his lost future. His friends laughed. I forced myself to breathe. At least I still have one. He stepped closer, breath heavy with cologne. Really? Without Daddy's money, you're nothing. Everyone knows it. I clenched my fists. Everyone also knows your grades are as fake as your smile. His eyes narrowed. Careful, Walker. Some of us don't fight fair. Neither does life, I shot back. Sophia leaned against the lockers, arms crossed, her perfect hair catching the light. Why waste breath, Ryan? He's not worth it. He can't even afford books, I froze. She smirked. Oh, right. Did I hit a nerve? My jaw tightened. Yeah, you did. But thanks for reminding me why I'll work harder than any of you. Her smile faltered, just for a moment. Ryan laughed louder to cover it. Dream big, Walker. Maybe you'll get a sympathy award. I pushed past them, heart pounding, every whisper sticking to me like glue. Inside the classroom, I dropped into my seat. Liam slid in beside me. You okay? He asked softly. Do I look okay? He sighed. Ignore them. They don't know what it's like. Ignoring doesn't make it hurt less. Mr. Carter entered, his calm presence cutting the chatter. Settle down, everyone. Books open. I opened my worn notebook, trying not to notice Ryan tossing a crisp new textbook on his desk like a trophy. Halfway through class, Mr. Carter circled the room. His eyes lingered on my empty desk space where a textbook should have been. He paused, then quietly set his own copy beside me. Borrow this for now, he whispered. My throat tightened. But sir, he shook his head. No excuses. Just use it, I swallowed hard. Thank you. He gave a small nod, moving on as if nothing happened. Ryan leaned back in his chair, sneering. Look at that. Teacher's pet needs charity. I ignored him, focusing on the pages in front of me. Liam muttered, Don't let him get to you, I whispered back. I won't, not this time. After class, I stayed behind, running my hand over the borrowed book. Mr. Carter stacked papers at his desk. Sir, I said quietly, I'll return this soon. I promise, he looked up. Ethan, it's just a book. What matters is that you use it, I hesitated. Everyone knows. About my dad. About the money. About me selling my bike, he sighed. Let them talk. Whispers don't decide your future, you do. But it feels like I'm carrying a sign that says failure. Mr. Carter leaned forward. Ethan, listen to me. I've seen students with everything fall apart, and students with nothing rise higher than anyone expected. You? You're in the second group. Don't doubt it. My chest tightened.
Do you really think I can still make it?
His eyes didn't waver.
I don't think.
I know. I stared at the book again. Then I'll prove you right. He gave a small smile. That's the spirit. Now go on before you miss lunch. Out in the hall, Ryan was waiting, arms crossed. Enjoy your hand-me-down, Walker? He taunted. I kept walking. Better than enjoying my father's wallet. His smirk vanished, anger flashing across his face. But before he could reply, Liam stepped between us. Back off, Ryan, Liam said firmly. Ryan sneered. What are you, his bodyguard? Liam grinned. No, just a friend. Something money can't buy. Ryan scoffed and stormed off, Sophia trailing after him with a look I couldn't quite read. Liam turned to me. You really know how to poke the bear. Let him roar, I muttered. I'm not afraid anymore. And for the first time, as I held that borrowed book against my chest, I almost believed it. By the time the lunch bell rang, my stomach was already growling like a wild animal. I slipped into the cafeteria, trayless, hoping no one noticed. Ryan spotted me instantly. What's wrong, Walker? Forgot your wallet, or did Daddy gamble it too? His friends laughed. Sophia smirked over her salad. I kept walking, head down, and slid into a corner seat. I rested my elbows on the table, clutching my stomach. The smell of food was torture. A tray landed in front of me. I looked up, Liam grinned. Figured you might skip lunch again. Not happening, I frowned. Liam, I can't. Shut up and eat. He pushed the sandwich toward me. I don't want your pity. It's not pity. It's friendship. Now take it before I shove it down your throat. I cracked a smile. You're bossy, and you're starving. So quit whining. I hesitated, then picked up the sandwich. The first bite nearly made me groan. God, this tastes like heaven. See? You're welcome. He tore into his apple. I swallowed, guilt pressing harder than hunger. You shouldn't have to share. I want to. Still, I hate needing help. Newsflash, you're human. Everyone needs help sometimes. I leaned back, chewing slowly. Not Ryan, not Sophia, not people like them. Yeah, because their lives are hollow. They hide behind money. You've got something real, I raised a brow. What's that supposed to mean? You've got grit, heart, fire, whatever you want to call it. I snorted. Fire doesn't pay tuition. No, but it pushes you forward when everything else is against you. I stared at him. Why do you always believe in me more than I do? Because you forget what you're made of. I lowered my voice. What if I'm not enough? You are. Silence hung for a moment, filled by cafeteria chatter. I stared at the crust of the sandwich. You know what I want, Liam? He leaned forward. Tell me. I want to build. Machines, engines, bridges, anything. I want to take things apart and put them back together better than before. I want to be an engineer. His face lit up. Finally. You said it out loud. My ears burned. I've thought it forever, but saying it makes it feel impossible. Impossible? Ethan, look at you. You're already fixing broken things every day. Your own life, for starters. I laughed weakly. That's not engineering. That's survival. Same thing. Survival just means you're resourceful. That's an engineer's first skill. You think so? I know so. And when you graduate, I'll be in the front row cheering louder than anyone. I stared at him, throat tightening. You'd really be there? Of course. Someone's got to scream, that's my best friend. While you get your degree, I chuckled. You're ridiculous. Ridiculously loyal. The words sank deep. You have no idea how much that means, he grinned. Then stop doubting it. I finished the sandwich slowly, each bite feeling like borrowed strength. One problem, though, scholarship only covers tuition. I can't afford books, supplies, barely anything else. We'll figure it out. We? Yeah, we. You're not doing this alone. I shook my head. I can't let you carry my burden. He leaned back, crossing his arms. You didn't ask me to. I'm choosing to. But why? What do you get out of it? Ethan, you idiot, I don't need to get something out of it. You're my best friend. That's enough. I stared, words caught in my throat. He nudged me. Say something before I get all sentimental here. I laughed softly. Fine. You're the best friend anyone could ask for. Damn right I am. He grinned. The bell rang, signaling the end of lunch. I stood, still holding the empty wrapper. Thanks for everything. Don't thank me. Just promise me one thing. What? Promise you won't quit. No matter how hard it gets. Promise you'll chase that dream until it's real. My chest tightened. I promise. He held out his fist. I bumped it, a spark of resolve lighting in me. As we walked back to class, the whispers still followed, but they felt quieter. My stomach was no longer empty, and for the first time in days, neither was my hope. The stench of beer hit me before I even stepped fully into the living room. Bottles clinked on the table. My father slouched in his chair, a fresh glass in his hand. Uncle Robert leaned beside him, laughing too loud. "There's the scholar," my father sneered, waving his glass toward me. "Back from pretending books matter," Robert chuckled. "David, he's serious, huh? Thinks he'll change the world with pencils and paper." My father slammed the glass down. "Change the world? He can't even change his own shoes without begging money." My fists clenched. "I'm not begging. I'm working harder than either of you ever have." His eyes narrowed. "Watch your mouth. I'm telling the truth." Robert shook his head, grinning. "Kid's got fire, I'll give him that." "Fire burns out," my father spat. "Reality puts it out. Education's a scam. You'll see," I stepped closer, trembling. "Education isn't a scam. It's the only way out. I won't rot in bars with you." The room went quiet except for the ticking clock. My father's face darkened. "You think you're better than me?" His voice was low, dangerous. I swallowed hard. "No, I just don't want to end up like you." Robert whistled. "Careful, boy." My father stood staggering slightly. "You ungrateful brat. Every roof you've had, every meal you've eaten, because of me. Because of Mom," I shot back. "She's the one holding this family together." My mother rushed in then, eyes wide, dish towel in her hands. "Stop it, both of you. Stay out of this, Anna," my father barked. Tears welled in her eyes. "Please, David, he's just a boy." "I'm not a boy," I snapped. "I'm trying to build a future while you tear it apart." He laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. "Future, look around. There's no future here." "Then I'll make one." My voice shook, but I didn't back down. "I'll do whatever it takes." Robert leaned forward, smirking. "Kid thinks he's some kind of hero," I glared at him. "I don't care what you think." My father shoved the table, bottles clattering. "You'll care when the world spits you out. No job, no money, no respect. Just another failure."
Just like me, my mother sobbed.
"David, please!" Her voice cracked, pulling at my chest, but I couldn't stop. "You call yourself a father, but you steal from your own son. You crush dreams instead of building them." His face flushed red. "I did what I had to. You gambled my scholarship." He slammed his fist into the wall, making Mom scream. "Don't talk back to me." I stood frozen, heart hammering. Robert muttered, "Kid's got guts, I'll give him that." "But guts don't feed you," I turned to him. "Neither does being spineless." His smirk faded. "Careful." My father grabbed my shirt, pulling me close. His breath reeked of liquor. "One day you'll thank me. When life breaks you, you'll see I was right." I forced the words out. "If life breaks me, it'll be because I let it. And I won't." He shoved me back, nearly knocking me over. "You'll see," he growled. Mom stepped between us, hands trembling. "Enough, both of you. You're tearing this family apart." "It's already torn," I whispered. Her face crumpled. "Ethan, please don't say that." I looked at her, guilt clawing at me. "I'm sorry, Mom, but I can't stay silent anymore." My father poured another drink, ignoring us. Robert chuckled nervously, muttering something under his breath. I turned and walked toward my room, chest heavy, fists aching from clenching too long. Mom called after me. "Ethan, please don't fight him. Just focus on your studies." I stopped at the door, voice low. "That's all I'm trying to do." Inside my room, the noise of laughter and clinking bottles carried through the walls. I sat at my desk, staring at my worn-out books. My hands shook, but not from fear anymore. From rage. I whispered to myself, "He thinks I'll end up like him. He thinks I'll fail." "No." The word echoed in my mind. "No matter what, I'll rise. I'll prove him wrong. I'll prove them all wrong." The sounds of their laughter carried late into the night, but my vow was louder in my head. I carried my project to class with both hands, careful not to bend the fragile cardboard bridges I'd built. Each piece had taken me nights of cutting, gluing, and measuring by candlelight. My chest swelled with nervous pride. Ryan's laugh cut through the chatter as soon as he spotted me. Well, Walker's here with his masterpiece of trash." I kept walking, ignoring him, but my pulse thudded. Don't trip, Sophia added sweetly. All that effort might collapse like your future. Snickers filled the room. I set the project on my desk, jaw tight. Ryan sauntered over. What's this supposed to be, a bridge? Looks like a pile of sticks. Leave it alone, I muttered. Oh, come on. Let's test how strong it is. His grin was poisonous. Ryan, I warned, my fists clenching. But he reached down, gripped the center, and with one loud rip, the bridge tore in two. Cardboard cracked, glue snapped. The class erupted in laughter. My stomach dropped. Heat surged into my face, my hands trembling. I shot up, fists shaking. Ryan smirked, waving the broken pieces. Oops, guess it couldn't hold up. Ryan, that's enough, Mr. Carter's voice boomed from the doorway. The room froze. I glared at Ryan, vision blurring red. Every muscle screamed to swing, to smash my fist into his smug grin. Do it, Ryan taunted under his breath. Hit me. Prove you're nothing but a violent nobody. I raised my fist, my arm trembling in the air. Ethan. Mr. Carter's voice was low, firm. He stepped closer, placing a hand on my shoulder. Don't. He destroyed my work. My voice cracked. I know, he said calmly. But don't let anger destroy you too. My fist hovered, teeth grinding. Use it, he whispered, eyes locked on mine. Channel it. Don't waste it. My hand shook, then slowly lowered. The room went quiet. Ryan's smirk faltered. Pathetic, he muttered, tossing the broken pieces on my desk. Mr. Carter faced the class. Sit down, Ryan. Ryan slumped into his chair, still grinning, but less sure. I stared at the ruins of my bridge, my throat thick. Mr. Carter leaned closer. You did good holding back. Trust me. That took more strength than throwing a punch, I whispered. But he ruined everything. Not everything. Your mind's still yours. Build again. Better. His words settled like heavy stones in my chest. I wanted to scream, cry, smash something, but instead I forced a shaky breath. Sophia whispered loud enough for others to hear. Guess poverty makes projects as weak as people. A few laughed. Mr. Carter's glare silenced them. Enough, Ethan, come with me. I followed him into the hallway, my chest still burning. He shut the door. I know what you're feeling. Humiliation, rage, the urge to fight. My eyes stung. I wanted to break his face. I know. His tone softened. But if you had, what would have happened? I looked down. Suspension, expulsion, maybe worse. Exactly. And who wins then? Ryan, I muttered. He nodded. So you can't give him that. Don't fight him with fists. Fight him with what he can't touch, your determination. I swallowed hard. But it hurts. Seeing them laugh. Watching everything I worked for get destroyed. Then use the hurt. Let it drive you. Pain can bury you, or it can build you. You get to choose. I stared at him, breathing uneven. What if I'm not strong enough? You are. I've seen it. You keep showing up no matter what's thrown at you. That's real strength. Something in me shifted, the boiling rage cooling into something sharper. I whispered, Then I'll use it. I'll make this anger push me forward. He smiled faintly. Good, that's what I wanted to hear. The bell rang inside the classroom. Students shuffled out, throwing me quick glances, some mocking, some curious. Ryan smirked as he passed. Next time, Walker, he muttered. I didn't answer. My hand still shook, but not with helplessness. With resolve. Liam appeared, frowning at the scraps still on my desk. He really did it, huh? Yeah, I said quietly. You were about to... He mimed a punch. I wanted to, I admitted. But you didn't. I looked him in the eye. No, I'm done giving him what he wants, Liam grinned. Now that's the Ethan I know. I gathered the broken pieces into my bag. Each scrap felt like a wound, but also like a reminder. As we left the room, Mr. Carter's words echoed in my head. Use it. Don't waste it. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was drowning in anger. I felt it sharpening me, hardening something inside. Ryan thought he'd broken me. He didn't know he'd just built my resolve. The lamp flickered on my desk. Pages spread wide. My eyes burned, but I pushed through, whispering the formulas under my breath. Still awake? Liam peeked into my room. Yeah, I muttered. Can't afford to slow down. He tossed me a candy bar. Fuel. Don't burn out. I cracked a tired smile. Thanks. Days blurred into nights and nights back into days. By the time Dr. Lewis, the visiting professor, stepped into class, my notebook was full of scribbles and questions I couldn't silence. "Today," Dr. Lewis announced, "we'll discuss applied mechanics." My hand shot up before I could stop myself. "Sir, if a bridge design fails at one end, can redistribution of weight save it?" He paused, eyebrows raised. "That's a very sharp question. What's your name?" "Ethan Walker." "Walker," he smiled faintly. "Keep asking questions like that." Whispers rippled around me. Ryan rolled his eyes. Sophia tilted her head, studying me differently than before. After class, Dr. Lewis stopped me at the door. "You think differently, Ethan. Ever considered engineering as more than just a dream?" My throat tightened. "It's the only thing I want," he nodded. "Then let me help. Come by after school tomorrow. We'll go over advanced material. Mentor me? Really? You've earned it." For a second, I couldn't breathe. "Thank you." When I left, Liam was grinning. "Well, look at you. Teacher's favorite." "Not favorite," I said quickly. "Just noticed. That's how it starts." He nudged me. "Don't hide it. You're killing it." I shook my head. "It's just one step. One step higher than anyone else here," he shot back. The next week was brutal. Dr. Lewis piled me with extra exercises, drilling me until my brain spun. But every time I solved something, every time I understood, the fire inside me grew brighter. One evening after class, Sophia stopped me in the hallway. "You've changed," she said softly. I frowned.
What do you mean?
"You don't just sit quietly anymore, you're sharper, stronger." "Or maybe you just never looked close enough before," I replied. Her lips parted like she wanted to argue. Then she just smiled faintly. "Maybe," I shifted my bag. "Why talk to me now? Last month you laughed with Ryan." Her cheeks flushed. "People change." I met her gaze steady. "I don't forget easily." She looked away. "Fair enough." Then she walked off, leaving me puzzled but unmoved. Later, Liam leaned on my desk. "What was that about?" "Nothing," he smirked. "Looked like something. She doesn't matter." "Sure." I focused on my notes, heart pounding faster than it should. Weeks passed and the numbers began to show. My test scores climbed, slowly at first, then faster, until one day, Mr. Carter read the results aloud. Top score, Ethan Walker. The room went silent. Ryan muttered, "Impossible." Sophia glanced at me, something unreadable in her eyes. Liam slapped my back. "Knew it." I stared at the paper, the number printed bold. For the first time, it wasn't just a dream. I'd beaten the odds, if only for one test. Walking home that day, Liam wouldn't stop talking. "Do you get it now? You're not just surviving. You're winning." "Small victories," I whispered. "Small?" "Ethan, this is huge!" "Not enough yet," I said. But my chest felt lighter, hope flickering stronger than ever. The knock came hard, rattling the door like it wanted to break through. My stomach twisted. "Who the hell is that?" My father barked, stumbling from his chair with the bottle still in his hand. Another knock, louder. "Walker, open the door." "Time's up!" My blood ran cold. "Loan sharks." My mother's hands trembled as she whispered, Don't answer." But the pounding grew violent, the wood creaking under the force. "They'll break it down," I muttered, moving before I even thought. "Sit down, boy," my father snapped, slurring. "I'll handle it." "You?" I turned sharply. "You caused this? Watch your mouth." He staggered, but the smirk on his face was hollow. The door slammed open before either of us touched it. 3 men stepped inside, heavy boots shaking the floor. Their eyes swept over the room like vultures. "Mr. Walker," the tallest said, grinning without humor. "You've been avoiding us." My father chuckled weakly. "Just a misunderstanding, fellas. I'll get the money. You've been saying that for months." The man's gaze slid to me, then to Emily standing frozen behind me. "Nice family you've got." I stepped forward instantly, blocking his view. "Stay away from her." He laughed, amused. "Got some fire, huh?" "Leave them out of this," I said, fists clenched. "Kid," another man sneered, "your old man owes big." "You all belong to us until it's paid." My mother dropped to her knees, sobbing. "Please don't hurt my children." The sound tore through me, but I held my ground. "Take it out on me if you want, not them." "Ethan," my mother cried. "No! Quiet, woman!" My father barked, though his voice shook. The tall man grabbed my father's shirt, yanking him close. "You think we're playing, Walker, next week? If we don't see the money, we take something else instead." My father nodded quickly, eyes darting. "Next week, I swear." The man shoved him back, sending him crashing into the wall. Then he looked at me again. "Strong kid. Better hope you don't end up cleaning your father's mess forever." They left as suddenly as they came, the air heavy with their threat. Silence clung to the room until Emily whispered, voice trembling, "Ethan, are they coming back?" I turned to her, forcing calm into my tone. "Not if I can help it." She gripped my sleeve, eyes wide with fear. "You stood in front of me." I thought, "I won't let anyone touch you," I cut in. My voice was steadier than I felt. My mother rocked on the floor, tears spilling freely. "We're cursed." Cursed because of him. She looked at my father, and for the first time so did I, not as a son but as something else. He brushed off his shirt, smirking despite the sweat on his brow. "See, nothing happened. I've got it under control." "Control?" I snapped. "They threatened to take us away. You stood there like a coward while they tore this house apart with their eyes." "Careful, boy." His smirk wavered. "No." My voice rose, burning through the fear. "I'm not afraid of you anymore." His eyes narrowed, the bottle shaking in his grip. "Big words for someone still eating under my roof." "This isn't a home," I said, stepping closer. "It's a prison you built with your debts," my mother gasped. "Ethan, please don't fight." Emily's hand squeezed my arm. "Stop. He's not worth it." But I couldn't stop. "Not now. You've dragged us down for years, mocking me, mocking my dreams. Tonight I stood stronger than you ever did." He sneered, trying to laugh, but his voice cracked. "You think one little outburst makes you a man?" "No," I said firmly. "Protecting them does." The room hung heavy, his silence louder than any words. For a flicker of a moment I saw it, fear in his eyes. Then he barked a laugh, trying to cover it. "You'll break just like me, boy. That's all you'll ever be, my shadow." I held his stare, unblinking. "No, I'll rise above you." My mother sobbed harder, clutching her chest. "Please stop, both of you," Emily whispered, voice fierce. "Don't waste your strength on him." "Ethan, save it for yourself." I turned from him, the decision sealing inside me like iron. For the first time, I wasn't the boy he mocked. I was something more. Behind me, my father muttered, almost too low to hear. "You'll see. You'll fall." Just like I did, but I didn't answer. His words no longer held chains. I was bent over my notes when Mr. Carter cleared his throat. "Ethan, Dr. Lewis would like to see you in the office." My stomach tightened. "Me? Did I do something wrong?" Mr. Carter smiled faintly. "You'll see." When I stepped into the office, Dr. Lewis greeted me with that sharp, thoughtful look of his. "Ethan, sit down." "I have news." I lowered myself into the chair, heart pounding. "News?" He leaned forward, hands clasped. "I'm nominating you for the National Scholarship Program. Your work, your persistence, it deserves recognition." I froze. You're serious?" "Deadly serious," he said with a small grin. "It won't be easy, but you've proven yourself worthy." The words rattled through me like thunder. I don't even know what to say. "Say yes," he replied simply. "Yes," I whispered, almost afraid it might vanish if I spoke too loudly. He nodded. "Good, prepare yourself. People will talk. By lunch they already were. Did you hear?" Someone muttered in the hallway. "Lewis picked Ethan for the scholarship." "Ethan?" Another scoffed. "Over Ryan?" Whispers followed me like shadows. Ryan stormed up to me, face red. "You think you can steal my place?" "I didn't steal anything," I said quietly. "You? A nobody with no money, no name?" He shoved my shoulder. "That scholarship was mine. You'll have to earn it, just like I did." His jaw clenched, rage sparking in his eyes. "You think this makes you better than me?" "No," I said, meeting his glare. "It just means I'm not beneath you anymore." He cursed under his breath, storming off while the hallway buzzed with murmurs. Later, as I packed my bag, Sophia lingered by my desk. For once, her voice wasn't sharp. "Ethan," she began softly. "Can I talk to you?" I looked up warily. "Why?" Her eyes flickered with hesitation. "Because I owe you an apology, I frowned. For what? For years, she said, voice trembling, I mocked you. I thought your dreams were ridiculous. But you, she paused, swallowing, you never gave up. The admission stunned me. Why are you saying this now? Because I admire you, she whispered. You've done what none of us thought you could. You're stronger than all of us. I stared at her, unsure how to respond. It's strange hearing that from you. I know, she said, biting her lip. But it's the truth. I was wrong. For a moment, silence stretched between us. Then I said quietly, Thank you. Her eyes softened. You earned it. When I got home, Emily ran to me, eyes bright. Ethan, everyone's saying you got chosen for a scholarship. I laughed weakly. Word travels fast, she hugged me tight. I knew you could do it. My mother appeared from the kitchen, eyes wet. Is it true? Yes, Mom, I said, smiling for the first time in days. It's real. She pressed her hand to her mouth, whispering, God bless Dr. Lewis. Behind her, my father scoffed. Scholarship? Huh, waste of time. They'll see through you. I turned toward him, calm. You can think what you want. But this time, you can't take it away from me. His smirk faltered just slightly. The next morning at school, Ryan cornered me again. His tone was low, dangerous. Enjoy your little victory, Ethan. It won't last. I met his eyes steadily. Maybe not. But for now, it's mine. He glared, but I didn't flinch. For the first time, respect, not pity, followed me as I walked away. That night, I lay awake, Dr. Lewis's words echoing in my mind. You've proven yourself worthy. For the first time in years, I believed them. The house smelled of stale beer when I came home. My father sat slumped at the table, head in his hands. Ethan, he muttered, voice hoarse. Sit down. I stayed by the doorway. What do you want? He lifted his face. His eyes were bloodshot, his cheeks hollow. It's all gone. Every cent. The cards turned against me. I crossed my arms. So you lost everything again. This time, he whispered, there's nothing left. From the living room, Emily peeked around the corner. What happened? Father banged the table. Don't look at me like that. I just need a little help just until I get back on my feet. I laughed bitterly. Back on your feet? You're asking me. He swallowed. You've got connections now. Teachers like you, scholarships. You can spare something for your old man. After you stole mine? I snapped, his voice cracked. I was desperate. And I wasn't? My fists trembled. You left me with nothing. I sold my bike, Dad. I starved while you gambled. Mother appeared from the kitchen, her hands shaking. David, stop. Look at him, he's right. He turned to her, eyes wild. You too? You'll side with him now? She whispered. I'm tired of watching you destroy us. Uncle Robert stumbled in then, drunk and sneering. Don't pin this on me. I told you not to push your luck, but you wouldn't listen. Robert, please, Father begged. Help me, just a loan, Robert scoffed. A loan? You already bled me dry. You're poison, David. Handle your own mess. He grabbed his coat and left without looking back. The silence after the door slammed felt heavy. Father's shoulders shook. He abandoned me. I clenched my jaw. Welcome to what you did to us. Emily's voice trembled. Ethan, please, don't hate him. I looked at her, her small hands clutching the doorway. Her eyes were wet, pleading. I exhaled slowly. Emily, I don't hate him, I just can't save him. She stepped closer. Then just give him enough so we can eat, please. Father looked up, hope flickering. Yes, food. That's all I need. I studied him. The man who once terrified me now looks small, broken. Fine, I muttered. I pulled a few bills from my pocket and set them on the table. This is for food. Nothing else. His hand shook as he reached for it. Thank you, son. Don't call me that, I said sharply. You lost the right, his face crumpled. Ethan, no, I cut him off. No more gambling. No more begging. This is the last time. He buried his face in his hands, sobbing. Emily touched my arm gently. You did the right thing, I whispered back. It doesn't feel like it. That night, the walls echoed with his cries. From my room, I heard him muttering to himself. Why did it all go wrong? Why? Mother sat by the window, tears streaking her face. He's paying for what he's done. I sank onto the bed, exhaustion washing over me. And yet I still gave him money. She looked at me sadly. Because you're better than him, I shook my head. Or weaker. No, she said firmly. Stronger. The next morning, Father sat at the table again, staring at the untouched bills. You didn't buy food? I asked. He lifted his eyes, hollow and red. I was afraid. Afraid I'd gamble it away, I hesitated. That's the first honest thing you've said in years. He winced. I ruined everything, didn't I? Yes, I said coldly. You did, Emily whispered. But maybe now he knows. Father reached for her hand, voice breaking. I'm sorry, Emily, I'm so sorry, she cried softly. But she didn't pull away. I turned and walked out. The sound of his apology chasing me. For the first time, he finally realized what he had destroyed. The announcement came in the morning assembly. Dr. Lewis stood at the podium, voice calm but proud. This year's recipient of the National Scholarship, he said, is Ethan Carter. For a heartbeat, the hall went silent. Then whispers spread like fire. I froze in my seat, my pulse hammering. Liam clapped me on the back. You did it, Ethan! Ryan shot to his feet, his chair scraping the floor. This is a joke! Dr. Lewis raised an eyebrow. Sit down, Ryan. Ryan's face twisted. I worked harder than him. He's nothing. His father's a drunk. His family's trash. My fists clenched, but I held my ground. Dr. Lewis's voice cut through. This isn't about family. It's about merit. Ethan earned this, the students murmured, some nodding, others staring at me in shock. Ryan glared at me. Say something, Carter! Admit you don't deserve it. I stood slowly. I won't admit that. I spent nights hungry, selling what I loved, pushing past every insult. You mocked me, but I kept going. That's why I'm here. The room hushed. Ryan's face burned red. You think this makes you better than me? No, I said evenly. It just means I didn't quit. He lunged forward, but his foot caught the edge of his desk. He stumbled hard, crashing to the floor. Laughter erupted across the hall. I didn't laugh. I just watched him struggle to his feet, humiliated. For the first time, the power wasn't his. After assembly, Sophia caught up to me. Ethan, congratulations. Thanks, I said cautiously. You earned it, she insisted. Ryan's pride blinded all of us, but you proved us wrong. Her voice held no mockery this time, only sincerity. Liam grinned beside me. Told you the tide would turn. I smiled faintly. Feels strange, though. Why? He asked. Because I'm not used to winning, he laughed. Get used to it. At home, Emily burst into the room. Ethan, everyone's talking about you. You won! I picked her up, spinning her once. Yes, Em, I did, she squealed. I knew you would. Mother wiped her eyes with her apron. My boy, going to university. You've given us hope again. Father sat in the corner, silent. His eyes followed me, hollow and tired. I faced him. Say something. His lips parted, but no sound came. Finally, he whispered, You're leaving. Yes, I said firmly. I'm leaving, he lowered his gaze. And I can't stop you. I almost pitied him then. The man who once loomed like a giant now shrank in his chair, powerless. That evening, as I packed my books, Emily sat on my bed. Will you forget us when you're gone? I shook my head. Never, you're my strength. She hugged me. Then go show them who you are. I held her tight, a fire burning in my chest. This was only the beginning. The morning of my departure arrived too quickly. My bag rested by the door, the worn handle showing every struggle I had carried it through. Emily clung to my arm. Don't go too far away, Ethan. What if I need you? I knelt so my eyes met hers. You'll always have me. Even if I'm miles away, I'll be here. I tapped her chest gently. And here. I touched her forehead. She sniffled. But who will walk me to school? Who will tell me bedtime stories? You're braver than you think, I whispered. You can walk yourself now. And the stories? You'll tell them to me when I come back. Her lips trembled. Promise you'll come back? I promise. She hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. I held on, memorizing the warmth of her small arms. Mother stepped forward. Her hands shook as she adjusted my collar. You're ready, she murmured, though her eyes glistened. I touched her hands. You don't have to be sad. This isn't the end, it's a beginning, her voice cracked. I'm sorry, Ethan, for not protecting you. For all the nights you went hungry. For every time I couldn't stop him, I shook my head firmly. No, don't say that. None of this was your fault. You did everything you could. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I should have done more. You gave me strength when I wanted to give up. That's more than enough. She pulled me into her arms, her shoulders trembling. For years I had longed for this simple embrace, and now it felt like a closing wound. Behind her, Father cleared his throat. His face was drawn, his eyes hollow. Ethan, he began. I didn't let him finish. My hand gripped the strap of my bag and I walked past him without a word. He called again, softer this time. Son, I kept moving. The weight of his voice tugged at me, but I didn't turn around. Some silences were louder than any words. Emily ran to the door as I stepped outside. Wait, Ethan! I looked back. She held something in her hand, my old notebook, the one filled with half-drawn airplanes. Take it, she said. So you don't forget who you are. My throat tightened. Thank you, Em. I slipped it into my bag. That notebook carried the boy who dreamed, and now it would carry the man who chased the dream. She waved frantically. Goodbye, Ethan. Mother wrapped an arm around her, both of them standing in the doorway as if holding up the house itself. The bus arrived with a groan of brakes. Liam leaned out the window, grinning. Took you long enough. Come on, we've got a whole future waiting. I smiled faintly. Guess I do. As I climbed aboard, I glanced one last time at the crumbling house, the weary figure of my father in the shadows, and the two people who had given me reason to keep living. I raised a hand in farewell. Emily's small arm waved back furiously. Mother's tear-streaked face lit with pride. The bus rumbled forward, carrying me away from everything I knew. I didn't look back again. This was my closure. The campus gates loomed tall, iron bars glinting under the morning sun. My bag felt lighter than it had ever been, though it carried my entire life. Liam nudged me. So this is it, huh? The place where the world finally notices us. I exhaled slowly. Feels unreal. Like I'm stepping out of one life and into another. He smirked. Well, don't trip. First impressions matter, I chuckled faintly. I've fallen enough times already. I think I'm done hitting the ground. A group of students walked past, their laughter echoing. One of them glanced at me. Freshman? Yeah, Liam answered quickly. And ready to prove we belong. The student nodded. Welcome to the grind. You'll need guts. As they disappeared, Liam whispered, See? Already making connections, I shook my head. Not connections. Challenges. Every eye here will measure us. We walked toward the main building. My chest tightened at the sight of polished floors and towering halls filled with students who looked so sure of themselves. Liam slapped my back. Relax. You faced worse than this, I muttered under my breath. Loan sharks. Fists. Hunger. Yeah, this is nothing, he tilted his head. What was that? Nothing, I said quickly. Just reminding myself why I'm here. A voice called out from behind. Ethan Carter? I turned. Dr. Lewis stood there, sharp-eyed as ever, his suit slightly wrinkled from travel. My throat tightened. Professor? You're here? He smiled faintly. I wouldn't miss this. I told you, you had a place here. Now prove me right, Liam grinned. Told you were special, I flushed. I'm just trying to survive. Dr. Lewis shook his head. Survival brought you here. But from now on, it's about living. We followed him to the registration desk. A student volunteer asked for my name. Ethan Carter, I replied. My voice came steadier than I expected. She scanned her list, then handed me a packet. Congratulations, scholarship student. The word struck me. Scholarship, not pity, not charity. Earned. Liam whispered, Sounds better every time. I couldn't help but smile. Yeah, it does. After Dr. Lewis left, Liam and I sat under a tree near the courtyard. Students hurried past, their voices a blur of ambition. So, Liam said, what's the plan? Hide in the library until exams? I laughed. No, I've hidden long enough. I'm going to face everything head on. He leaned back. That's the Ethan I know. My hand rested on the notebook Emily gave me. I promised her I'd never stop dreaming. Liam peeked over. Still drawing planes? Always, I said quietly. But now, maybe I'll fly them too. Sophia's voice startled me. Ethan? I froze. She stood there, books in her arms, her expression uncertain. Sophia, I said carefully. She shifted awkwardly. I heard you made it. Scholarship and all, I nodded. Yeah, I did. Her gaze dropped. I wanted to say, I'm sorry, for everything I said when we were younger. I searched her face. The mocking smirk was gone. In its place was sincerity. I used to laugh at you because I was afraid, she admitted. You believed in something I didn't, and I hated that. My chest tightened. Why tell me now? Because I see it now, she whispered. You never broke, and I admire that. I let out a slow breath. Thank you. But I'm not doing this for admiration. I'm doing it for me. She smiled faintly. I know. That's why you'll succeed. She walked away before I could respond. Liam elbowed me. Well, that was dramatic, I exhaled. It wasn't about her. It was about closure, he grinned. Closure looks good on you. Classes began that afternoon. I sat near the front, pen in hand, while professors spoke of theories and futures. Every word felt like an open door. At break, Liam leaned over. So, still feel out of place? I glanced around the lecture hall, then back at him. No, for once, I feel like I belong. As the day ended, I walked alone across campus. The sky burned orange with the setting sun. I whispered to myself, I survived. I fought. I will never break again. The wind carried the words forward, as if sealing them into the path ahead. My new life had begun.